So, and
That's
you would
terrible.
have to have your face over it so that it doesn't all just pour out and empty. You don't even get...
The Japanese are amazing at inventing stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think they've missed on this one.
Put it out. Happy with the mic and chatting news on all things beer. Joined by Phil, Dan, and Matt, or anyone else to join the cheer. Hiker Brewing is where we chat, 'cause it's where
Oh, dear.
beers are
Oh,
All
dear,
right.
indeed.
Oh, dear, indeed. How are you, mate?
Oh, mate, living the dream. Only had to do half a brew today. It was good.
Mate, that's a good brew. Why? Well, I know why. Why did you only have to do half a brew?
I would have liked to do the whole brew, to be honest.
Because where is it? It's sitting in your tank, isn't it?
No, it's in the lauter ton. So I transferred all of my mash over to the lauter ton. I was just about to start recircing, and then a truck took out the power line on our street. So
Never good.
no, not in this case either.
No. How long has it been out for?
What's the time?
4
5 hours. Yeah. So 11:30 it happened.
Yep.
And they obviously had to isolate everything as well. So we lost 3-phase.
Yep.
Which, the brewery was out straight
Yeah.
up. But then they've turned everything else off as well so they can repair everything. And
Yeah.
1,000 customers have been out for 5 hours. So we
What
just
a
got power
nightmare.
back. But I dare say that mash is going to go straight into an IOBC and
Off
the
it
cows
goes.
will get an extra sweet
Oh,
treat.
mate, they'll be like, want this shit every week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow, what a nightmare.
Mm.
But, the good thing about beer taps?
Mm.
I was talking to this at the bar before.
What, they're not electrically powered?
That's right.
Yeah.
If you got CO2, we can still get beer out of the cold room.
They're still cold-ish.
Yeah, well,
CO2 works.
they're still cold, though. It's, beer kegs hold their temp pretty well.
Yeah,
It takes a lot to get them down, but yeah, good for us beer drinkers, not so good for you brewers.
Yeah, it was just really hard
today.
to take anyone's money as well, but that's all right.
Yeah.
People got to drink at least.
It's all sorted now, and also you got some music on. You got some music on in the venue.
Yeah.
Which
it
you
was
didn't have
very
before,
quiet.
yeah.
No music, but also like you don't realize how much noise your air compressors and your cold
100%,
rooms and
man.
your
It
brewery makes.
It was
Like,
so quiet
with
in here.
everything
right?
off.
Yeah.
Like you could hear a actual pin drop.
We're gonna actually have to pause it here because
Yeah.
old mate Evs
Someone's
is
going to interrupt us.
Yeah. Oh right. Well, yeah, man. We just saw Evs. He's
Ev dropped in. Just
finished off at Helios, and now he's on his way to Happy Valley. Well, not now. He's
in the morning.
in the morning. He's giving himself, as you
It's
said,
a long
he's-
drive, but
he's
it's not
giving
that bad.
himself a break. But yeah, man. Before we move too far on, quick shout out to the sponsors as always: Bintani, Craft Punks Canning, Convoy Kegs, Railing Labels and Stickers, and of course,
Hiker Brewing
Brewing
Co.
Concern. No, it's Concern, mate.
Is it
Brewing
concern? My bad. It actually just
Yeah.
says Hiker Brewing, so
Nah, because Phil always
you got to
has
follow the
the joke, he
teleprompter,
goes-
mate.
Phil always has the joke. He goes, "Yeah, it is concerning."
Yep, doubly concerning now.
Yeah, that's right. No, but before we jump in too far to this episode, I keep forgetting that Aussie Beer Voyage. It's not just this podcast because this is Pour It Out.
Yeah, you do have another
And
one.
We do have another one that we do, the video one. And we've got 2 bits of news for that today. Well, it's not really news, but we got the Aussie Beer Voyage group, ABV group chat. Granted, we don't really use it as much as we should or as often, and people don't really post in there, and I don't really know how to make it grow much, but I'm trying my best.
It's a hard thing to get to take off.
Yeah, and
you got to give it time.
Yeah, it'll happen eventually. But if you want to join us in the group chat, it's just Facebook groups /Aussie Beer Voyage. You will find us there. And jump in and ask us questions, do whatever. And the other one is just to chat about our latest episode, the Wobbly Chook, down at Yamba. Have you been to Yamba?
I have
in a while?
been to Yamba, but not any time since there's been a brewery there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It was a very long time ago. I've heard about Wobbly Chook.
Yep.
Have not been there, haven't tried a beer.
Yeah, man, the venue is incredible. They've got accommodation upstairs, got a big pizza oven and a smoker that could cremate someone now. But
Yeah, right.
yeah, it's really cool. It used to be backpackers, turned into a brewer. They're still learning to brew up their quality and things like that. But
So it's like on the main drag or something? Or?
yeah, it's right in the main drag.
Yeah, okay.
And super good spot to be.
The name of it made me picture like a back streets like farmhouse sort of like,
Yeah, no, well,
shed brewery with a few tables and something or something like that. But
there was there's a bottle shop down in Victoria or something called the Shifty Rooster or
okay,
something like that, and I was like, need to reach out to the guys with the wobbly chook and do some sort of collab. There needs to be
the wobbly shifty chook rooster.
Yeah, that's right. There needs to be some sort of chicken and egg coming out of this. I don't know. But anyway, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And another shout out, which isn't, I'm sure Phil would have more to say. I hope people realise that it's not Phil on the podcast with me. It is
We
you.
haven't mentioned that.
No. Yeah.
Phil's
otherwise occupied today. He had a massive day yesterday with his daughter Jo.
why was that?
Because Jo had her birthday,
Did
and
she?
Phil had way too many espresso martinis. And
Yeah.
he's a bit tired
I believe
today.
it's espresso martini.
I hate that word.
Yeah.
If
It's not a
there's-
word though, is it?
No, if there
No.
is anything that I can do to help the public vernacular and bartenders in general, oh my fucking God, the amount of times people have asked for espresso martinis and I would go, oh, sorry, we don't make those.
Mate, that's
We
something
make
that
espresso martinis
you're never
here.
going to stamp that out.
No, but I don't know why they do it. There's no reason. It just does my... It's not a cocktail podcast, Adam. Let it go. But
No, pour it out, mate.
Oh.
But I'm sure.
I will
I'm sure
pour it out. Look, I'm
baristas-
going to tell you, mate, the amount of times I've even put it on my cocktail menu underneath going, it's espresso, not espresso, so that it's on
And
the
then
menu
people
and
just
people
start doing
read
it
it.
to piss you off.
Oh, I
right?
don't care. If
Yeah.
that's, I can tell when people are taking the piss, but when people like go, you made 5 espressos, just the vein in my head, mate.
I don't know, but I'm sure baristas get it too. Surely.
I'm sure baristas do. I'll have an espresso.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway,
moving on
yes,
from...
Phil went out with Jo and his other daughter Helena, and they went out for lunch, and they got home after midnight. So
Yeah, well, Phil was... he just wanted to have a great time, handed his credit card over to H. Said, let's have a good time.
yeah,
And
you
Phil-
took good advantage of that,
Phil
Helena,
can't-
apparently. So.
Phil can't keep up with the young women that are his daughters. He's down on Mr. Percival's drinking cocktails.
He was hungover and sad about his credit card bill this morning, apparently.
I think that makes a hangover worse when you wake up and look at your bank balance and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
what have I done?
yeah,
It was all fun and games at
Yeah.
night when not, but the next day,
It's like the worst is when you can't remember anything, right? You've got to piece together when you left and how you got home, and then you go to your bank and you're like, oh.
sometimes that helps you piece together the
It
night.
helps. It gives you clues, but
Yeah.
it's also like, oh man.
Oh, what was I doing there? Yeah.
Why have I spent this much money?
Yeah.
And why did I go there? And yeah.
Yeah, who was I with that...
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we're responsible people, mate. We don't do that.
Yeah, it's never
anymore,
happened
no.
to me. I'm just
we
talking
know
from,
people
like-
who tell us that stuff.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
You know.
Mate, first real bit of news off the news bit here is Mighty Craft gone into VA.
I can't believe it.
No, it's shocking.
I actually am a little bit surprised that they went into VA. I thought they were going to skip that step. But anyway, here we are. Yeah.
I think what surprised me is that, it's not surprising, but other businesses that have had to deal with this now because Mighty Craft own them.
Yeah.
So, Kangaroo Island
Yeah.
Spirits, they're gone as well.
Yeah, they got bought, or a good portion of them got bought, and
Yeah.
now they're all just
They're all just roped into
Run
this
them into the ground.
sticky mess.
Yeah.
And you sort of wonder, like, what went on? What was wrong with Mighty Craft from the beginning to go to this? Like, they've just had this massive meteoric rise, bought all these businesses. What business has come out of Mighty Craft that's been successful? Really?
I'll tell you one,
All right.
Slipstream, because Mighty Craft's investment in Slipstream was to put in a venue, right?
100%, yeah, and they made that place a real cool venue. Like, it is a good venue now.
And it's even worked out well for Slipstream, which is
Yep.
a good portion of luck, I think. But
Yeah.
now Slipstream's managed to buy that back, and they've,
Oh, yeah,
they've got a
they've got a
venue.
real good
And
venue,
like,
yeah.
I'm sure it was terrible for a few years there, and they did not enjoy it. But in the end, But the thing with Mighty Craft, like the thing that went wrong, it's the same with all the other breweries that are struggling now. It's the focus on wholesale and distribution. Like the whole craft beer accelerator, Founders First / Mighty Craft thing was to put money into breweries that they thought had good brands and were making good beer, and to send their beer across the country. And
that was the model.
And that was great.
That was the model.
It went
like
gangbusters
8 years ago, wasn't it?
Exactly. But the same as all the other breweries that are stuck in that sort of market now. Wholesale and distro is too expensive and the margins are too thin and it's too competitive and people are spending less and it's just collapsed.
And they tried to bring a lot of stuff in-house, like the ordering and sales and things like that, and it just didn't seem to work, I don't think.
The amount of sales staff and stuff as well.
Yeah. Look, I think it's a bit messy for a lot of people involved, a lot of businesses involved, for sure. But, I mean, watch this space. Stranger things have happened. They still own a chunk of Better Beer. They weren't able to buy the Better Beer that they wanted. They wanted to buy...
They also tried to sell their share a while ago as well.
Yeah.
It's all... Yeah.
Well, Better Beer are trying to raise money to go massive and can't because of Mighty Craft sitting here on the... Because if Mighty Craft raise a lot of money, it gives access to Better Beer, rather. If they earn a lot of money, it goes back into shares of Mighty Craft. So,
but it's all very risky, right? Like, I was just thinking to myself, like, Mighty Craft might have done slightly better if they just invested in breweries and then let those breweries have their own sales teams rather than taking it all in-house and hiring all their own sales force.
Yep.
But also the fact that Mighty Craft did all their own sales and hired their own sales team means, like, if Better Beer now wants to get back their share and push harder, I hope they've thought about the fact that they're going to be paying a lot more money to have an in-house sales team rather than just using Better Mighty Craft sales. They sound the same, Mighty Craft and Better Beer, don't they?
I know,
just using Mighty Craft stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a big risk too.
I don't know... Where are Better Beer positioning themselves? Are they positioning themselves as a craft beer because they were when Mighty Craft got involved, or did Mighty Craft see them as something more of growing into macro size?
I think it's got to be the macro drinkers that feel like they're a little bit more posh and they're trying to, like, enter their way into the craft market. I don't think they're going to sell any sort of volume to actual craft beer drinkers. It's got to be on the macro side.
Yeah.
But then to do that amount of volume without actually being a macro brewery is not cheap.
No, it's very, very difficult. And, I don't also think either, there's not that magic number, or there's not that magic literage, I think, where it makes sense to go.
No.
Right? It's not a literage that you're able to make, it's a literage you're able to sell.
Well, yes, exactly.
Right? Like, if
you can make as much as you want.
That's right, exactly right. Like, you got to sell your beer.
Yeah.
If you can't sell your beer, then what happens? It ages out. You either have to dump it or you sell it for cheaper than it was.
Yeah.
And
then even if you're selling it off cheap, people have a less than ideal experience because it's old.
100%. And it's like we're dealing here with a quality product that we're all trying to keep quality. And it is a finite product. Like, it does run out. There's only so much you can wear with pulling product back and swapping it out. Like, I know I've gone into bottle shops and seen my beer sitting in a shed in a fridge, and I pull it out and look at the date on the bottom because it hasn't been released in a year, and I'm like, going, why is this still here? And then I know it's getting released like the next week, and then I'm going, oh, shit, I'm gonna have to go back and just swap this out because
last year's batch is still on the shelves. Oh goodness. I think, like, the literage thing, like, even in terms of selling literage, like, once you push into, you know, good volume production brewery wholesale distribution, you, like, there's no comfortable literage.
No.
Bigger is always better. In terms of...
But you can't tell me that Lion and CUB aren't having massive headaches with their pushover, and they've got how many millions of litres that they're having to move. You know?
Yeah.
So,
that wouldn't be an easy business to run either.
No way. Yeah.
No.
So...
Anyway.
Mate,
some competition.
Yeah. Do you read much about it on the Crafty Pint?
I do read a bit of Crafty Pint, yes, and I did see this announcement.
Yeah, so the Crafty Pint are going to launch a podcast, which, as everyone has always said, and even James himself, it's been 14 years. Everyone keeps asking him to do a podcast.
Yeah.
I even saw a post on comment rather from who was it? It was from me. It was from me going sucked in.
Wow.
So why have you taken so long? No, man, just hanging shit. No, I think it's great that they're finally doing it and coming along to the party, joining technology soon. They're going to have a TikTok account. And
No, they can't just have one. They've got to have 8, surely.
That's right. No, it's. I think they're going to have a lot of good content to come out. They always produce a lot of good content, and I think it'll be awesome. And
surely the only thing holding them back has just been time, right?
I think it's time and energy, man. I spoke to James about it so Aussie Beer Voyage, we did a chat with James for Local Beer Day.
Yeah.
And beforehand and afterwards, I spoke to him about like doing podcasts and stuff like that. And I think at that stage, as well, he was just saying, man, it's just, it's just resource. Like I know myself. Joel wants nothing to do with the Pour It Out podcast because it's just too difficult for him with all the other Aussie Beer Voyage, the videos and shit that he has to do. So I do all of this which
is why there's no video.
Blame me. That's why there's no video, exactly. I was going to do a video and then I was like, nah, fuck it.
Can't be bothered.
It's too hard. But yeah, it is a resource intensive. Any sort of media is resource intensive. Like even, who does good ones? Rocky Ridge do have a really good TikTok account if you haven't seen it. And just looking at their TikTok account, like they're mucking around and doing dumb shit all the time. Yeah. But I know how much work that takes. Someone needs to A, have an idea, B, convince people to be involved and do it, C, film it. It's not just film, post, and off you go.
No.
Like it can be a half hour worth of getting that sort of shit together. And
then there's the knowledge and experience that it takes to actually post it properly with the right hashtags and to get it into the eyes of people.
Right? And you might be great at content creation, but if you're not across all of these and have someone, it's going to be difficult. Yeah. And so, I'm really looking forward to the Crafty Pint podcast. I think it'll be great.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I don't consider it competition because I think we're no. Plus, we'd lose.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They've got a way bigger footprint. And a way bigger audience. So
it'll be good to see James's pretty face a little bit more often.
100%. Yeah. Well, I think for us too, we were super proud when we got to interview Mick. B, he did a profile on us for the Crafty Pint website. And when James reached out to talk about Local Beer Day on our platform, so that alone, makes us feel special.
Very cool.
And but I'd really like to see James with like a massive. Have you seen Cobra Kai?
Yeah.
I want to see James with like a massive mohawk.
Yeah.
Not the hawk tour, but
that might be good too.
Oh, there you go, James. You got an admirer. Mate, the next one. The next one, Heads of Noosa launch a ginger beer.
Do they?
They do indeed. So what they've gone and done. You have?
Yeah.
So they're using, ginger juice, and they're saying that they've used more than others. And I'm wondering too if that's given it that real ginger punch. I haven't tasted it yet, obviously. It's a tap beer only. It's not going to can. They bottle. But it's going to be the sort of thing that's only going to be on tap.
Yeah.
Predominantly probably at their brewery because I'm not sure how much they're brewing to send out to throw on the tap. But I think it's good.
Yeah.
Good to see. I'm sure they're putting as much effort into making this ginger beer taste as awesome as all their other beers.
Oh,
which are
absolutely
fantastic.
Yeah. The guys don't just come up with an idea and do it. There would have been a lot of months of planning and R&D and testing.
Have you tasted the Baltic Porter?
Yeah.
How good is that?
Yeah, very,
it is
very
so
good.
good.
Yeah. And I think this is probably a move to assist with their own venue in some ways, in terms of having another offering. But I think like their heads of Noosa, like as much as I've just said that production breweries that do a lot of wholesale are struggling, heads of Noosa are one of the ones that have such a good product, and they don't compromise on price unless
quality,
unless there's a deal going or something. But they're not trying to undercut anyone. They're not compromising on quality. They're going, hey, this is our product. It's a premium product. It's worth this much. And they actually just have really good sales staff. And they're actually going really well.
Yeah, and saying if you can't afford it, well, don't buy the beer.
And obviously ginger beers and similar are going well everywhere. So,
I think it's a great idea for them just to have that different product on tap that gives it, it gives them extra scope. They're not having to buy a product in to sell to people. They've got it now in-house. They can, people who don't want to have a beer, a lot of people will drink a ginger beer. It's 4%. It's perfect ABV. I think it's great. I'd love to give it a crack.
It's a no-brainer, really. Everyone's doing ginger beers, and for good reason.
Mate, still on the ginger train, Budrum Ginger introduces a home brew kit.
This is cool.
If you like your ginger beer, Budrum Ginger, a huge producer of ginger up on the sunny coast there, and they've created their own home brew kit for people who want to brew their own ginger beer. You don't have to brew beer, you don't have to do anything like that. It's no malt or anything. Everything comes in the kit, ready to go. Give you a ginger beer, 20 litres, 4% ABV.
So it's all like pure Budrum ginger syrup. Plus, you get your yeast and your nutrient and everything. That's a great idea. And I think if anyone wants to brew a ginger beer at home, like this would be the number one option, surely.
I would think so. But do you wonder, with both of these products coming out at the similar time, that Noosa, like heads of Noosa, had anything to do with like, here's the yeast you guys should use, blah blah blah. To help them out, like there's sort of that cross.
Could have been a bit of a deal there.
I'm not saying that there is. I don't even know, but
no, who knows? But
it's
they
don't grow ginger at Budrum anymore. I don't even know if they ever did. Budrum ginger is based out of Yandina.
They still process it. Oh yeah, Yandina. Yeah, exactly. Sorry.
What was that?
I'm not sure what that was.
It was a big ass bang. Young kids of today, you hooligans, get out of here.
Probably a possum or a bird or something.
That's right. People, if you love your ginger beer, Budrum Ginger have a kit, and it's enjoyable to brew at home. So, mate, the next one, I found this quite funny. This Japanese brewer invents a new glass to make people drink beer slower. And look at the shape of that.
Certainly think that would do what it says on the tin.
What does that look like?
I mean, it looks like something you'd put sand in normally.
It's an hourglass shape. So, it's a major craft brewer, Yona. Yoho. Yeah, Yoho. So it's a slow beer glass, which makes drinking beer difficult.
It's probably good for those really big imperial stouts. So you want to warm up and you want to drink them slow anyway.
Yeah, I just can't understand. Like, I don't know how you're going to get the rest of that out without spilling it all over your face.
No, you're right.
You can't,
especially if you had a few,
mate. There's no way you can get that last little bit of dregs out of an hourglass shape to drink all the beer.
I'm just thinking, I'm just looking at it and going, I wonder if it actually sort of, when it comes through the skinny bit in the middle, does it also stir up the beer a bit and keep your head really good? Well,
yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, once you get halfway through, then that goes off the table.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't seem practical to me.
No, and mate, that would fall over in dishwashers. Like, you would break that.
Oh, imagine that.
Oh, mate, I can't see it. They'd all be hand blown, all of these things.
And some of us, like not us, because we're responsible, but some people don't want to drink their beer slowly.
No, we're responsible. We both finished our beer halfway through the podcast. We're going to need to pause it and get another one. But normally you bring us over one.
Normally I do.
Yeah.
I can't be in all the places.
Actually, you didn't last week. I was sitting there. I was real thirsty last week, and I was like, man, I hope Dan notices my empty glass.
Oh,
And no, you were busy as doing like a bunch of other shit, but I was like, damn it. Wrap it up, Phil.
Where's Dan?
I need a drink.
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
I don't know. I would get one because I love trying weird shit.
But look at this photo.
Exactly.
Do you post the links with this when
Yeah,
you...
I do. I put all the
'cause
links on.
Everyone, click this link and scroll down halfway and have a look at this photo. Old mate's trying to scull his beer, or he's trying to get some beer.
Yeah.
And the bottom half of his beer is full, and he's getting next to nothing out of that.
Because that's the thing, right? You wouldn't even be able to get a proper mouthful to get the flavour of the beer,
No.
which would frustrate the shit out of me. So, and
That's
you would
terrible.
have to have your face over it so that it doesn't all just pour out and empty. You don't even get...
The Japanese are amazing at inventing stuff.
Yeah.
But, I don't think they've missed on this one.
100%. All right.
It's obviously all of Japan is responsible. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
just-
right.
it's not
Yeah,
just
we're
one
blaming
guy.
all the Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Yeah, mate. So, next one. This is a bit of historical love going on because, I love finding all these sort of weird, wonderful things. I've got a couple
Indeed.
more for you coming up too.
Indeed.
But,
I love it too. I just don't know how you find them. Far out.
yeah, I'm not going to show anyone my Google search history for various reasons. So, yeah, this is why is July 23rd Smoke Beer Preservation Day, which is actually today, the day we're recording it.
My question is July 23rd Smoke Beer Preservation Day?
Well, yes, it is, because there's an old dude, I don't know how old he is, I'm just throwing words out here. There's a guy in Germany, so normally like a lot of these holidays come from America. There's, German Beer Day, Baltic Beer Day, all these sort of things come from America because they love a holiday. It's all well and good, but I invented Fairy Bread Day in Australia, so...
How'd that go?
It went bonkers, mate, actually.
That's
really,
what-
really
I
well.
remember you saying that now.
Yeah, mate, they raise money now for kids in very difficult situations, so
you.
I gave it away. But anyway,
Good stuff.
we're not talking about Fairy Bread Day. But so Smoked Beer Day is a holiday on July 23rd, which is because and we all know this, like old historical beers used to be malted, all the malt used to be malted with smoke.
With
there
fire,
was no
right?
way
Yeah.
with the kiln to get rid of the smoke. That was just what you had to use.
The kilns are fired with timber. Yeah.
Yep. And so every beer that you had before July 23rd, 1635 was a smoky beer. But on that day, Sir Nicholas Hulse filed a patent for a smoke-free kiln.
Yeah, right. In Germany, yeah?
In Germany. And so ever since then, we've been able to have malt without smoke. Now, it was the late 19th century when, smoking malts really almost died completely.
Most kilns were not timber fired anymore. Yeah.
But there are still two breweries, both of which are in Bamberg in Germany, that use 100% smoked malt still to this day. And it's just another one of these, like, I just think beer can teach us a lot about cool history. It's not just a thing that we've had around for a short amount of time.
No.
There's so much going on about this. So what's your favourite smoked beer? Well, Adam beer.
I was literally, yeah, classic. No, I
The
was
other
literally just thinking to myself, I wonder if these places in Bamberg still have a bunch of different styles of beer that are all smoky. They probably do.
Yep.
But
Like traditional styles, like the Doppelbock and Schwarzbier.
yeah,
and things.
yeah, exactly, yeah, whatever it is. But in around the world, in worldwide style guidelines, it's just a Rauch beer, really now, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
A Rauch beer. Sorry,
I was going to ask how do you pronounce it, because I always thought it was a rack beer.
I think it's Rauch.
Yeah.
But you got to do the
Yeah.
Rauch beer. I don't know. I'm not German.
We're all learning here.
But an Adam beer, yes, but that's getting removed from style guidelines.
100%. Adam beer is a historical beer.
Yeah.
It's not a smoked style per se, because there's a lot going on with an Adam beer. It's a bit of everything.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
things like, Schwarzbier, Doppelbock, What else would have had smoke? Any of the dark ones, really.
Well, anything,
stouts, or anything.
Anything super malty, I guess. And
Yeah.
In Europe, yeah.
Well, back in
Box
history,
and-
it was all the beers. They
Well,
were all smoky
yes. Yeah, totally.
to some degree, and now that can be a fault. I had a beer on the weekend, actually. Matt Wolf and I were out on Saturday night. I'm not going to name where or what we had exactly, but we had a Czech Pils.
It was Matt Wolf's house, and it was one of his home
It
brews.
was one of his home brews. He's going to fucking kill me for that. And so he should. He makes shit beer. No, I'm only joking. No, he does not. And we had a Czech Pils.
Mm.
And
Smoky.
yeah, well, like, it didn't smell smoky. It tasted smoky.
Yeah,
and,
right.
And I picked it up and I drank it and I put it down and I'm like, yeah, maybe Matt's just bought me something weird from the bar. But I'd looked at the tap list and I hadn't seen anything that was smoky. And on the second mouthful, I was like, no, it's definitely there. And I said, why'd you buy a smoky beer? What is it? And he goes, I wasn't sure if it was just me. And he goes, so I didn't say anything. And he goes, but it's definitely smoky, And I'm like, yeah. And
Yes.
only in the flavour. So
It sounds like phenols that have come from an infection, I reckon. Because if it's just yeast health, you'd be able to smell those phenols
I
as well.
wasn't sure if it was like just scorched on the
Potentially could be
oil.
one of those issues as well,
Yeah.
like an electric element
Yeah.
issue.
But
yeah.
it was definitely not a good beer. We both didn't finish it, and as everyone knows, there's a lot of beer I will drink, and it takes a lot for me to not finish a beer. And I put it to one side and was like, no. It wasn't too bad anyway because I had to drive. So
It wasn't even July 23rd, so...
no, that's right. That's today. So happy Smoke Beer Preservation Day,
I
everyone.
do love a smoked beer. Like, I can't imagine drinking beer all the time and all of it being smoked. Like,
I don't think that would be heavy.
That'd be too much.
Yeah.
But I love a rock beer. I love smoked stuff.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a time and a place, and I love experiencing because there is a lot of flavour in smoke and a lot of different smokes that you can get. I mean, you and I smoke meats and a whole bunch of other stuff that, like vegetables and stuff.
A whole bunch of other stuff.
Whole bunch of stuff. And, there's different flavours that you can get from the smoke. There's hickory, mesquite, oak, there's all sorts of different stuff. So it's not strange that smoke imparts a different flavour. But, yeah, I'm with you. I reckon I would find it hard to have every beer taste like a beer, that style, with smoke element added to it. It'd just be too much.
Although maybe your palate would have just got used to it. Like, I guess a lot of their food would have been, cooked over fire. Like,
I guess so.
They may not have noticed. I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe that's, yeah. Good point, Daniel.
Thanks, Adam.
Yes, well done, sir. On that point, how much Adam beer have you got left?
Zilch, I think.
Oh, really?
I think we're done.
Wow.
Oh, no, I lie. I tell a lie. We're done. Cans are done.
Yep.
And we have taken it off tap, but we do have, I think, maybe like 30-ish litres left.
Oh, yeah? Going to pull that out for Oktoberfest?
Well, we're just going to keep it for when we have a spare tap, basically. Like, it's going to keep well, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
We've taken it off to make way for some new releases, but
Whenever you need a filler, just
it's
put
there
it
to go
back
back on when we need it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Who doesn't love an 11% random that just shows up on
Yeah,
the tab?
yeah. Sorry, your mid-strength's run out, but we've got this.
We've got this thing. This behemoth of a beer style. Oh, shit. All right, man. So, yeah, this one I found. This is yeast that originally came from a wasp. So, yeah. So, we've talked about in previous episodes, like back, that there's like bee beers and things that they've got different yeasts on these animals and whatnot. But this was 10 years ago. They extracted this yeast from paper wasps. And what they've done is so if you're allergic to bees or wasps, they've actually got the yeast now so that there's none of that left.
Isolated the strain and they're repropagating
That's the
it.
technical terms. Yeah.
Probably.
Thank you.
Yeah. Without the need for more wasps.
That's right.
Sure. Yeah.
So there's this new yeast called...
We've got a new lease. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I have, over at East Brisbane. 100%.
I'm just, filling in for Phil here.
Oh, dear. So anyway, it's a Pinnacle brand. this yeast, and it's a lactic acid. It's a sour yeast, and what it actually does. So I'm assuming that it's like the what's that freaking yeast that makes?
Yeah, Philly sour.
That's the one. So I'm pretty sure it's similar to that, but the way that they talk about it is that it gives, like, you know, a different body to the beer. Tropical, fruity, citrus aromas as well. There's no Brettanomyces, there's no Saccharomyces. It's non-GMO, so we can probably get it here in Australia.
Non-Saccharomyces.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't have any off flavors or contamination risks with other souring agents that you can get. So
that's very interesting. I want to know where it, like, taxonomically where it's come from, because, like, even Philly sour is a Saccharomyces.
that's right.
It's just a heterofermentative one that produces alcohol and acid.
Yeah.
But yeah, what is this? If it's a yeast, right? But it's not Saccharomyces and it's not Brettanomyces.
Yeah, so Lacancia beers tend to use.
Oh yeah, Lacancia. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
I don't know either.
So that's the genus. Interesting. A whole new genus.
Yeah. So yeah, I love these sort of things. That is super exciting and new. Like, and Phil only last week was saying how he believes that yeast is the next big thing to happen with beer.
Yeah, well, we've done a lot of stuff with hops specifically, I guess, lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeast is one of those things that's under the thumb of the natural world, and until you really get right.
And as
into
Phil
it.
said, like, you know, you've got 12 to 15 years of getting a hop to market, whereas yeast, that cycle that you can change and test and grow is much shorter, so you can get things to market a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So
I'd say, like, for a lot of new release yeast strains, it probably does take that long or more, but
yeah,
that's not because they're waiting for things to grow. It's more like trying to actually isolate the right flavors that they want.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty hard to find and isolate new strains that taste good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
There's a lot of wild yeast out there. And
exactly. There's
90, I don't know a number, but, like, almost all of them taste terrible.
Yep. Yeah. Well, to us, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Well, what's exciting about this is that this is ready to go. Like, it's all packaged up here. Like, there's a photo here, straight up, crisp sour, with a 1 kilo block.
We're gonna do like
500 grams. But
like a tequila bottle. Do you get like one wasp in every brick or something?
I wonder if I don't think you could do that these days. Hey?
Yeah, probably not.
No,
Yeah.
that'd be cool, but no, you can't.
That is very interesting, and I'm going to read more.
Yeah. I'll send you the link. Well, you can find it on the website.
Yeah, I'll have to actually listen to this, will I? Is that? No.
You don't listen to podcasts.
I'll just go to the comments.
webpage, mate. Yeah.
Sweet. Amazing.
Yeah. So you know that the worms in tequila, they don't make you any more drunk, regardless. Everyone says, drink the worm, it makes you more drunk.
Who said
tequila.
that?
Heaps of people think
Really?
it's a massive myth. Everyone thinks
I
that
would
if
not have
you
believed
eat the
that, but yeah.
worm in a tequila bottle, that you get more drunk. It's got more alcohol. It's got nothing. You know what it is? It's a fucking worm.
The worm would soak up some alcohol, but it'd still be less alcoholic, but then that same volume of pure spirit.
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
what-
And it's a worm out of the agave plant. They put it in there. It's not like...
Yeah, it's a gimme.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's like the green ant gin.
Yeah.
Ants in the green gin.
I'll still be upset if there's no wasp in my brick of yeast.
Yeah, well, I'll see what I can do, mate. Yeah. I've been stung by a paper wasp. Not fun. Mate, the next one I've found is hops are helping to fight gout-related arthritis. Now, there's a massive word in here. I'm going to let you try and say it because I'm shit at these sort of words.
What, xanthahumol? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, now that you say it, it makes much more sense to read it. But anyway, they've found a compound in hops, this xanthahumol, that helps fight gout-related bone damage in arthritis, which, I don't know if you know what gout is. It's if you've got bad liver function and that sort of thing.
I wouldn't know about that.
It causes crystals to form in your joints, predominantly in men and in older men. And it can happen like in your toes and blah, blah, blah. It's all down to uric acid. right? And what our body does is it converts all of these things, and if the liver's not functioning properly, it puts too much uric acid into your bloodstream, all these sorts of things. Yes, I did read about it, and I do know some stuff. But
there you go.
What's interesting about this is, what's the first thing that doctors tell you to do if you have gout?
Drink more hoppy beers? No.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's not. It's just don't drink at all.
Hot water, apparently.
Yeah.
That's funny.
If you can not drink alcohol,
Yeah, of course.
which
It's all based
is
on liver
understandable,
function.
100%, right?
Yeah.
And then here we are with this ingredient that we use in beers all the time, with a compound in it that is helping to fight gouty arthritis, which just to me, like, I'm not saying, oh yeah, drink hoppy beers and you won't have gout. Like, I'm not a medical.
Yeah,
not
no,
any sort of
course
medical
not,
thing
of
at all.
course not.
This is not
No.
medical advice.
I feel like
but,
the advantage that comes from xanthahumol is probably not overpowering the disadvantage of the alcohol, right?
100%. Yeah.
But that's interesting. Like, I don't actually know what xanthahumol is, and it probably does say in this article, but I haven't read it beforehand.
No. Yeah, so what it does is
Is it a terpene? Is it an oil?
It's got anti-inflammatory activities that stop the crystals from forming.
Yeah.
And it actually helps to improve those things. So you can obviously get gout and whatever from a whole lot of things, not just alcohol.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And, you know, I'm sure when I'm older, I'm going to have arthritis and gout, I'm sure. But for me, it was just that real, when I found this, like look, I'll tell you some of my way I get my news, right? I just typed in Google hops and hit the news, right? And some of the articles are months old and years old, and every now and again you get a gem that's only a couple of hours old, and this one was about 5 hours old.
There you
Where I've read
go.
them.
Sort by time release.
Mate, we're on the forefront of scientific research here.
Yeah,
This is what I'm bringing every week. We're finding all of these things, and that's what's happening. So
there you go.
But there you go, man.
That's all you got to do to be at the forefront of.
Mate, Crafty Pine, take some notes, mate.
If you want to start a podcast,
just Google and hit the news. Half the thing is, does that mean that I should not include Crafty Pine articles, you reckon, anymore? In our...
Oh, yeah, no, mate. They're competition. Like, you were never friends.
Well, no, we are. They're not gonna, here's the thing, right?
Of course you should include Crafty Pine articles.
No, I love the boys. What I think is, so their podcast is coming out every Thursdays, but they're recording it much earlier. They got 4 in the bag, ready to go, much like Joel and I did when we did Aussie Beer Voyage.
Yeah.
The video ones, because that's what they're doing. They're doing the video as well as audio, and I know you can't turn around video editing that quick. It's just too hard.
It's If you're bossing the brewer and you want to post it that night, that's fine, because
Mate,
it's
Dan
literally
doesn't edit.
It's
edit.
literally just a Zoom video.
yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. No, and I also know of another podcast that's coming out soon too, which everyone will be very much excited to get on board, and I can't say any more on that.
Interesting. Pour it in.
It's me just pouring beers into glassware and talking about the hourglasses. That's right. Yeah.
I know we've well and truly moved off this topic, but I'd be interested to know about. Oh, I've forgotten what the word was, but xanthamol.
Xanthanol.
Yeah, whatever that was. Xanthahumol. Yeah.
I'll open it back up for you. We can have a look.
Yeah,
Xanthahumol.
Yeah. So if that's a terpene, I reckon it probably is, but I don't actually know. Like, there's a whole new sort of product that's starting to come out, which is isolated terpenes.
Yep.
From hops.
It's a isoprenoid flavonoid.
Where's that? What?
Right here.
Isoprenoid flavonoid. Oh, so flavonoid just means it's a flavor compound.
That's right.
So isoprenoid, okay, derived from Humulus lupulus, which is hops. Yes. Anyway, so people are isolating these terpenes, which are flavor compounds, from hops, from cannabis, from a bunch of things, and releasing them as...
I first read about terpenes in rosemary.
Yeah.
There's a lot of terpenes in rosemary, which make rosemary, if you cook it for too long, very, very bitter.
Yeah.
And
we've talked about this anyway, haven't we?
Yeah. Yep.
But anyway, like, if this is one of those and it can be isolated, then, you know... Is this the beginning of a new treatment for, inflammatory arthritis.
Well, that's where I think it's cool. I think there's a lot of natural ingredients and products. I reckon there's a lot of cool scientists out there who have on their study budget, like, people have to write, when you go through university and whatnot, people have to write these theses, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You can tell I went to uni. On these up-and-coming things that they want to study and do. And that's how a lot of this stuff gets found out, by someone just goes, I wonder.
Yeah.
And then they just try this stuff and find it. And there's probably so much stuff under our noses that we're missing just because no one's bothered to ask, I wonder.
Totally.
And I reckon it's great.
And there's a lot of things that you would never wonder, right? But
there's
it's
too much stuff that I wonder. That's half the problem that goes on in my mind.
I don't have gout yet.
Yeah.
But I do have full body inflammatory arthritis, and what I'm hearing is more hoppy beers.
100%, mate. You need to make more hazies.
But no, seriously, like
love
if this is a thing, like that's amazing. Like that.
Yeah, I wonder how they extract it. Like, and if the extraction process is different to how we use it in beers, or if after we've used hops and you dump them out of your trube or anything like that after dry hop, that it can still be extracted because they're not coming out in beer. Like, it's not a flavonoid that we appreciate in beer, but it's still there in the hops, because then that's an offshoot market that you can...
Potentially. I mean, they all sort of... What's the word? Wow. Clap here and edit.
No, I don't edit. No,
please edit.
No.
Are you just pretending this is a Zoom video?
No, I don't edit. I literally don't edit.
What? So people just go, oh, Adzy's clapped here because he thought he needed to cut something out, but you never actually cut it out?
I never actually cut it out.
I don't believe you.
I don't.
You're just saying that because I've never listened to a podcast.
Because I know you don't listen to the podcast, so I can keep it in.
Anyway, some volatile compounds will blow off easier than others, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. This could be one that never makes it through to beer. I don't actually know, but yeah.
Yeah. Nice one. Got any last words? That's the last news article, mate. You got anything else you want?
I feel like I've said enough words, to be fair.
Sure.
Yeah.
How's East Brizzy going? Good weekend. Did it go all right with the game on yesterday?
Yeah, it was a good weekend.
Saturday? Saturday was game day?
Sunday was game day.
Okay, yep.
Still wasn't yesterday, but that's close enough.
Yep. Yeah, true.
It was definitely not a normal Sunday. Like, it was good.
Yep.
I feel like there's probably still some
improvement,
some word that needs to get out about there being a venue there again for pre-game drinks or post-game drinks.
And when you get your food sorted as well.
100%. Yeah. So it was good without being amazing, but I think that's just early days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Nothing else?
No, I don't think so. I should probably go strain the liquid out of my Laudaton and dump the grain into an IBC so the cows can have something.
Man, lucky cows, or beer drinkers.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying.
Yeah.
Dennis, if you're listening, I'll probably hit you up to come down to the warehouse tomorrow and get some more malt so I can brew this beer again.
Mate, if he listens to this on the way to work, then he'll be able to.
He'll probably hear it before I actually hit him up.
I'll post it tonight. So yeah, awesome, man. All right, well, pour it out.
Pour it out. Take a hike.
That's the there we go.
There we go.
Nice one.
And you thought it wasn't Phil.
No, that's right. You're a fill in.